Helmets Off is now on, and of course, so are the Utah Jazz. Starting the 2018-19 season, they get to go to Mexico, but they also get to play on Christmas Day. Christmas Day is actually reserved for all those teams that are pretty good. And you have to wonder sometimes, is it hard to play on those holidays, and how do athletes really feel about giving up their social time, their family time, building traditions and celebrating some of the great cultural moments in our history as a country? And you know, it's an interesting thing as a player. You actually don't really care. I know when I played for the Detroit Lions, we always played on Thanksgiving Day. And a lot of people were like, oh man, isn't that kind of a bummer? And I was like, no, one of the reasons it was so great is literally almost all of America is watching that game. So you knew you had probably the biggest audience that you could absolutely imagine on Thanksgiving Day. But we found something kind of magical about it as well. We had a very short week leading up to that game. So we knew that the team we were playing didn't have a lot of time to have special game plan preparations. So we knew we were going to get the game plan from their week before. But here was the other magical part of this, and it was really magical. We knew that it was really important to be playing your best football at the end of the season. And this was that kind of get us over the hump part of the year where we made this push to win 3 games in a row. So the week before Thanksgiving, we pushed to win that game. And then 5 days later, we're playing on Thanksgiving. And then we have a 10-day bye period. And then we have our next game where we're all rested and fresh, and we're ready to kind of push to the end of the season. So it was really important for us to win those 3 football games. But the other thing that was always nice, it was always a home game. So the other team who was like, oh man, we got to leave our families, we got to leave early in the week, literally like on Wednesday, and when they normally leave on a Saturday for a Sunday game. So they're leaving like 3 days earlier than they normally do. Detroit, Michigan was always a really hard place to travel and get to the Pontiac Silverdome. There wasn't an airport really close. In fact, it was over an hour away to just fly into the Detroit Metro Airport. So a short week, no game plan, and we knew we had 10 days after, plus we had a team that was kind of sluggish from having to travel to us. We loved playing on Thanksgiving Day. In fact, we always did quite well on Thanksgiving and those other games, and it was one of those pushes that helped get us into the playoffs every single year. As far as other holidays, it's kind of a funny thing. When football season started, which it started right now, so our football season started sometime in July, we went to training camp, and every year I'd always have this same thought. For 12 years in the NFL, as soon as I went to training camp that first day, I was like, it's going to be Christmas before you know it. The season's so regimented, it's so challenging, it's so busy that you kind of pass all the holidays unless they specifically actually land on your day off. And I'll tell you another funny story we had on a holiday, which is not a holiday, but it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a celebration. It's Halloween. There was one Halloween that actually, it was on my day off, which was a Tuesday. So Halloween was on a Tuesday. And my wife and I decided that we would actually go and rent all of the scariest movies we could ever find. So Freddy Krueger, Jason, the night, I guess Freddy Krueger's The Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, all those scary guys. And this movie called The Shining with Jack Nicholson. And we sat and watched scary movies from the time we got up until we went to bed that night. And I can tell you, we watched The Shining, the last movie of the day, and it was like at about 10:30 at night. We were scared out of our minds by the time that movie was over. So that was kind of a fun thing. Holidays are good and bad. Always love Thanksgiving. Happy to see my Jazz on Christmas Day. Helmets Off is now off. You can text Helmets to 65537. Go to all those social sites and like us. And of course, dial us in on your smartphone. Till then, we'll catch you soon.